Good morning, students, and welcome to the class of computer science. Children, in this video, I'm going to cover chapter 2 of unit 2, and the chapter's title is Working Independently. Children, as the title suggests, working independently means working without the help of anyone. So, children, in this chapter, we are going to cover in depth about independent working, the work styles for independent working, and qualities of independent working. So, let's begin this chapter. Children, we human beings are social animals. We are team players. We can't live without friends and family for a long. But at certain point of life, we have to do something or the other on our own without any help from anyone. So, children, that instance is known as to work independently. Children, some scenarios require independent working, like self learning, understanding, grasping a concept, doing self regulated research working, or working on an independent project. So, children, in these instances, you will have to work independently. Suppose you want to understand anything, no other person will sit inside your brain and help you out. If you are doing a research work or grasping a concept, you will have to do it independently. All right, children. So, here I would like to discuss some important things about independent working. First of all, you must be fully responsible for the work which you are doing. You have to take ownership, means you must be accountable. Although you do unsupervised work, means you do not require constant supervision, but still you have to be disciplined. You are capable of completing the work within stipulated time and budget, and that too as per stated objectives and deliverables. Just have an example. Suppose you are the manager of a company. Your bosses have assigned you a project and asked you to complete that task within stipulated time. You have a team of 5 to 10 members. So, definitely, it is your sole responsibility to get that task done. Your team members would be totally dependent on you for the completion of that task. They will take the orders from you, but only you have to decide what has to be done and how it has to be done. Children, not all the situations are fit for independent working. Similarly, not all the situations are fit for teamwork. Okay? Now, if I talk about advantages of independent working, so first of all, you are independent, you are your own boss. Whatever you want to do, you can do, and when you want to do, you can do. Secondly, you can work at your own pace as per your working style, and you don't face conflicts and disagreements. Children, when we work in a team, definitely there would be brainstorming. BRAINSTORMING. Brainstorming means, suppose a project is there, you are the manager. So, when you will discuss that project among your colleagues, definitely everyone will give his or her ideas, and maybe your views get criticized. whatever you think about it. So you have to face conflicts and disagreements also. But when you work independently, there is no instance like this. Since there are no interactions and meetings, you are able to accomplish the task faster. If you succeed, only you get the full credit. And if you fail, children, the full blame will also be on you. Suppose your bosses have assigned you the project, you are the manager. If you are successfully able to complete the task within the stipulated time, you will get all the praises. But if you fail to do so, definitely you are getting the criticism. Okay, what is the work style for independent working children? So be own supervisor, critic, and guide. No one is there to say to you anything. All right. Here's a little short example is there. A small example is there. Suppose you are interested in computer hardware and assembling the parts of a computer. What will happen? You will be able to cut cost of a computer which you want to purchase from the market. If that computer is of 50 to 55,000 in the market, and if you assemble the same computer at home at your own convenience, you will be able to cut the cost by 35 to 40%. Means that computer would cost you around 33 to 34%. Alright, so what's that? That is independent working. But when you purchase a branded one, definitely the shopkeeper would ask you a price. He will do some negotiation, and 1-2,000 he will just cut the price, and he will offer you some other things. But when you do it yourself, you get benefited a lot. But children, if anything goes wrong, if you are not able to do that thing properly, that same assembling of computer would cost you 60,000 also. Alright, so how it will cost? Maybe you just make a part which cannot work properly. Okay, further, so definitely you will have to purchase the next part, a new part. Alright, if you have assembled wrong, so that can happen. So in this way the cost will increase. Secondly, if you want to work independently, so your objectives must be clear of your work, what you want to achieve, what the task is, how it will be done. Alright, so and what the deliverables will be there after the completion of the project. Next thing is you have to take initiative, and you must know how to take initiative. Suppose as a teacher, if I ask 5 students and I ask, please anyone come to me, I want to give you a task. The first child who comes out has taken the initiative. In the same way, if you are the independent worker, so you will have to take the initiative. You must be fully committed. Okay, you cannot deny anything. Next thing, you have to maintain a work-life balance also, because you are your own master. But it's not like that you can work for 20 to 24 hours, and it's also not like that you must work for only half an hour. So you have to maintain the balance of between work and life. Now see, if you are working independently, you can't blame anyone if anything goes wrong. So you have to take the ownership of every kind of mistake or error. So you have that positivity inside you that you can own the errors also. You must be good at stress management. Why? Because when we work as a team, the stress gets distributed. But when we work independently, everything comes on us. Next thing is action planning. So when you work independently, first you have to set goals. That what is the task? What you have to achieve? Then you plan how to achieve it. Very important thing, you have to set a proper time limit also when you are going to finish the project. Otherwise, it will carry on for whole life. All right. So proper timeline should be there, and you have to manage the time. Okay, how and when to do the project. Now, if a worker is there who works independently, what are the qualities? You must know self awareness. Actually, what is self awareness? You must first of all know about yourself, your attitudes, your personality, your strengths, weaknesses, interests, abilities, emotions, beliefs, assumptions, biases, and their shortcomings. So, a self analysis is important before working independently. All right. So, self aware people, consciously practice personal discovery and keenly analyze their actions. And you must know that do I have that required or requisite skill set which is needed for the completion of this project? If not, you must analyze yourself again that whether you want to work independently or as a team. Do I have excellent listening skills? That is also important. Do I take the feedback and suggestions constructively? Am I self motivated? Am I able to meet the deadlines given by my bosses? So, all these things are small things, but they must be answered by the person himself. Children, the answer to such questions help one become aware of oneself. All right, and self-aware people develop mindfulness abilities, and they keenly observe how he or she can improve his or her personality and grow into a mature individual. All right, so see, these are some self-awareness things like decision making, know own strengths and weaknesses, self-disciplined, know self-emotional triggers, open-minded, mindfulness, know and set boundaries, and focus. As you can see this picture, figure number 2.1. So these are the things which must be required for self-awareness. Second thing which comes is self-motivation. See, if you work independently, from where the motivation will come? No one is going, your parents and your friends, and no one is going to come to you. Yes, do it this thing, do this thing. Because now you are a grown up. So you must be a person who is self-motivated. Some people are highly motivated by themselves and they don't require any external resource or source of motivation. But some are there who require external source of motivation to meet a deadline, okay, to get a reward or to get a penalty. And motivation helps us to achieve any set thing, a desired thing. If we talk about motivation, what is it? It is a fire. Within that lights our path. It's a fire inside us. A fire to achieve any cherished goal or desire. Okay, a self-motivated person does for his own satisfaction. Whatever accomplishments he has, it is for himself only. And children, if you are self-motivated, entire eagerness, enthusiasm, willingness and desire will come from inside only. How we can develop this self-motivation technique? All right. First of all, decide every day target for your work. Decide how much amount of work you will do each day. Visualize the desired outcome, that outcome which you want to get. You should visualize it earlier only. Create a picture what the outcome will be, how it will look like, and have this vision before you, because it will help you work better and harder. Play up to your strengths and weaknesses. Play up to your strengths and weaknesses. You should set milestones of the things you are proficient in and can do better. Monitor your progress. You can use some indicators, example, visual indicators to monitor your progress. Then self-regulation. Self-regulation is an important skill that is required to know own emotions and behavior in tough situations and challenges and manage them effectively. So you must be able to regulate yourself. You must be able know that where you have to move faster and where you have to slow down your speed. So self-regulation requires, children, willpower, as you can see in this picture, willpower, emotion regulation, effort foot control, and self-control. Okay, so self-control is related to self-regulation, but is different from it. Self-control primarily is a social skill that exercises control over own behavior. And self-regulation, on the other hand, comes into play when the emotions and behavior deviate from the normal. So you should be able to manage your emotions. That is self-regulation. Alright. So you can say that like thermostat, which increases the meter when it gets heated and lowers down when it cools down. So self-regulation brings the emotions and behavior to the set normal point, whereas self-control is setting the normal point and behaving accordingly. So that's all in this video, children, and I hope you must have got enough knowledge about this topic. So that's all for today. Thank you.